All right, so let's evaluate what we have so far. So as of right now, whenever we can see, we're about halfway through. We have the C and the R, and those are the most two difficult ones. So C is for create, so I can create new records. That's one thing I did notice. I can go to /animals/new, and then I can create a Sharif, and then his description is Hamdi. And then it's going to create a new one for me. And then I can read. So I did the C, so I can, the Sharif goes Hamdi, sure. So I have the C, I'm able to create new records, and then I'm able to read those individual records. So the C and the R are finished right here. And if we go into /animals, we can see all of the animals that are on our list. I do want to add a link here because I hate having to type in /new because I'm lazy, and that's what's going to happen with most of your users as well. So let's jump into our tests, and we can just add it somewhere. Where would this go? Right here. So under index, it shows us all the animals, and maybe I'll add another test that says maybe it shows a link to create a new animal. All right, I'm just going to grab this from the curriculum and just throw it in here. So I don't need a given to set anything up because I'm just making a request. I don't really need anything here. So I don't need a given. The when is what's being executed. So I'm making a get request to /animals. So I expect that particular page to have create a new animal with some sort of link that goes to /animals/new. I'm going to run the tests. The test will obviously fail because I don't have this particular piece of code yet. So I believe we have 6 examples and 1 failure. So pretty simple. Under all, where is this? I don't know where it is. Which one of these files is the one that I should be adding a link to? I'll give you a hint. It's one of these 3. I'm not sure which one it is.
What are you trying to do?
So I'm on, let me jump over here. So I'm on the main page right here. And as of right now, I have to type in /new every time to get to the new page to create a new animal. Instead, on this particular page, I want to have a link maybe right up here that'll say create a new animal. So I can just click it and it'll take me there. So which one of these 3 views controls this particular index? All right. And I want to put a link above the entire list. So is it going to be on line 2 or is it going to be on line 8? On line 2. So I'll just create a real quick href. Refresh the page. And then I have create a new animal on here. And then when I click it, it'll take me to /animals/new. So I don't have to keep typing it in every single time. I wrote the tests for it. So we'll just run rspec real quick. And I should have 6 examples and 0 failures. Everything is good. So we're fully finished now. We've done create and we've done read. We're going to do update and destroy. Those are pretty quick.
I just have a quick question in terms of how do you do all of those have links? Do all of the animals link to their own show page?
Sure. So the question was, do all of the animals have links that go to their own show page? Let me open up a second one. Let's go to all the animals at first. And you're saying, do all of them go to their own individual show page? As of right now, it is set up that way. So let's take a look at the code that makes that happen. So again, when we take a look at the giant index of all of the animals, it's under the index.erb. And the code that you're looking for is right here on line 6. So I will just do this to make it a little bit easier to read. So I have an ahref. It's a href. Ahref is a HTML tag. So it's saying I have a link, and it's going towards /animal/animal ID. And because I had all of the animals right here under /animals, I grabbed all of the animals, and I'm iterating over each individual record, each individual active record object. Each one of those objects has an ID built on it. So I'm building the link based off of /animal/whatever animal's particular ID on there. So when I click it, it will actually take me to this get animals/ID thing here. All right, let's do update. And then, so we did create, did read, and we're going to jump down here to update and delete. So a couple things. The first things first, when we're dealing with like editing, like you go to you sign up for something and then you view your information, you click edit, right? Most of the time it'll say like, it'll actually just populate all of your stuff for you so that you don't have to like retype it in, like you know exactly what your record is going to be. So I want to do two things. One, I want to make sure I can get to the page where the form that I can edit on. And then two, when I actually hit the update thing, it actually updates it inside of the database. These are these two particular blocks right now. So it's a little like this test, the first one, basically just to see the form for me to update, is going to look something similar to this particular one, but it's going to be a little bit more beefy. So I'm copying and pasting directly from your curriculum. And I'll move this over to fix some of the spacing. So this particular test is to see, I want to see the form on the page, and I want it to load the information. So first things first, given, when, then, you can kind of see I've separated it for you. Given, like you need to create an animal in order to have an animal to update, right? Like, so I need to set that up. I need to make sure that's there every single time. So I have a dog, and I'm going to create a dog. They've got it rough. And this is the given. This is what I need to do in order to set everything up. The when is what's being executed. I'm making a get request to /animals/dog, whatever this particular dog's ID is, and then /edit. I expect the body to say edit animal. Maybe it's up at the very top. Then I expect that dog's name to show up and that dog's description to show up as well. I'm not going to run the test. You know that this is going to fail. Let's create the code to make this happen. Actually, just to be very thorough, red green refactor, because I have to teach it. Bundle exec rspec red. We just have one test that's failing. All right, so red, it says that this doesn't exist. The route for /animals/ID/edit doesn't exist yet. So I'm going to jump back over here, and I'll do. That's fine. What have we done here? Get. So whenever anyone makes a request to /animals/ID/edit, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the animal inside the database, and then I'm going to load the thing. It's not going to be show, but it'll probably be its own individual edit template. And I'm going to keep the same local variables here. So with that, I'm going to create a new form. It's going to be edit.erb. Here it is. I'm going to just take a look at grab a form and throw it in. Now this should look very, very similar to something that we've already tested. So if you take a look at new and you take a look at edit side by side, as of right now, they look pretty similar, yeah? They both, maybe the H one's a little different. The post is the same. All of these things look identical. Label for animal name and text and animal description, everything looks exactly the same. Now, the main thing of that's a little bit different is the value is going to be equal to animal.name, and the value is also going to equal animal.description. So the main difference between new and edit is two things. One, it's if the value already exists, I'm going to put it in its place. And other than that, there's also this line 3 right here. It's a hidden input. I'm actually going to say, when I want to update something, I'm not using a post request because by default, a form actually uses post. So I'm going to hide this particular method inside of here, and I'm going to change the value of that method to from whatever it was to put. Again, post is to create something new. Put is to update something. But every single form by default is going to be a post request. So yes, I'm saying the form is good to go. It's going to be a post. But on the next one, I'm going to hide this thing in there. It's going to overwrite the method from post into put.
That's a common thing to do.
That's a very common thing. Yeah, when you want to edit in particular. So we have this edit page right here.
And you can't use put instead of post in the form method?
Yep, the question was, can I replace this post with just put? I'm 90% certain the answer is no. So let's do this. Let's make this test pass, and then we will we'll update this with put and remove this line and see what happens. All right, so let's run the specs. All right, so we have 7 examples, 0 failures. Maybe we will add, as of right now, we can go to dog1 /edit. Let's see what we get. All right, we're going to edit the animal, and it's going to automatically populate with name and description. But as of right now, we don't have a link. We have to memorize that it's going to be /edit. So we'll just have a little link down here that says that it has something on there. Show. Just added this link that says edit this particular animal. That will take me to /animal/1/edit if you look in the bottom left-hand corner. All right, so we can now get to the form, and we can fill out the details, and we could submit it. So let's just do anything here. Hit the update. I don't think this will work as of right now because we haven't done that quite yet. So we're going to write a test real quick for this second half. So we're going to continue to update what we've got here. I'm going to grab all of this stuff from the curriculum and just copy and paste it directly into here. So these 2 tests are going to test basically the whole functionality of the update. First things first, I want to make sure that A, I can actually update the record that's in question. And then B, it'll redirect me to that page. So I have given, when, and then, given, when, and then, broken down into pretty clear sections. In order to update this particular animal, I need to create an animal first. So I'm going to create an animal with dog, and they've got it rough. And then the parameters, because I don't have a form that I can fill out on inside of my RSpec, so I'm just going to post directly to, I'm going to put directly to this URL. Params, name equals dog with a description of mush fluff. This is the given. This is what I need to do in order to set up the test. This is the when. What am I executing? So I'm going to make a put request to this particular dog with params. And then I'm going to reload the dog, and I expect the new dog's name to be dog with an E at the end, and the description to change from what it was before to what it is afterwards. Same thing down here. I create the same dog. I have the same given, the same when. I expect it to redirect me to, with a 302, to that particular dog's show page. Wrote the tests. Everything's going to blow up here. All right. Didn't do what we expect, which is totally fine because we don't actually have a put action quite yet. So I'm going to grab this, throw it at the bottom. So this is saying anyone makes a put request, and this is the new one, like because we're used to get and post. Anytime anyone makes a put request to /animal/ID, I'm going to find that particular animal in the database. I'm going to this thing that's built into Active Record called update attributes. I'm going to update the attributes of the name from what it was to whatever the current value is of params, and the description, the same thing. So once I update them, I'm going to redirect them to that particular page. So let's run the tests, make sure everything passes. Cool. All right, and let's see this in real life. So we're going to go to /animals/15, just a random number that I chose. All right, I want to edit this particular animal because my doggy is no longer a doggy because it grew up, and it is full dog. And full dog barks and bites people. So I'm editing this particular animal. Before it said doggy, with like it was like a fluffy doggy that everyone liked, and I'm going to press the update button. If all goes well, it'll redirect me to animal/15, but with my new updated things like full dog and full dog barks and bites people. And it blows up. So let's see what we've done. We edited the animal. We're going to post to /animals. I messed something up.
Why is line 6 your animal.name? Why is it?
Why is it green?
Yeah, and then your other animal is white on 11.
Oh, okay, so this is just funky things when it comes to HTML and Rails. But I think everything's good. I think this is going to the wrong place. So it's not put/animals. I think it's going to be put/animals/animal.id. There's a typo in the curriculum. Try this one more time. So we'll go back to number 15. Hopefully it didn't update. Okay, so it didn't update the dog. That's fine. I'm just going to call him full dog. I'm just going to say big. Update. And then now it takes me to the new and updated full dog. So the information about the full dog goes big. And going back to Leanna's question was, what if we just change this directly to put and then get rid of this? Forms by default are post requests, just like links by default are get requests. So I'm pretty sure this won't work, but we'll find out. Let me refresh this page. I'm going to click on the edit. Full dog 1, 2, 3, and its description is big, big, big. Hit the update. Don't think this works. So you can kind of see on top of it not really doing anything, it just threw it inside of the URL. So it didn't update anything, and then it just put it inside the URL. So you do need to have this post here, and then have a hidden method of put, so that you're overriding this post right here. So we've done 3 things. We've created records, read records, updated records, and now we're going to move on to the destroying of records. So the goal of our destroy action is 1, we're going to load the existing animal. 2, we're going to delete it from the database. And then 3, after we delete it, maybe we'll redirect them back to like all of the animals or something like that. So let's take a look at our specs. We have D for just delete destroy. And I'm going to just copy and paste it over here. So the first things first, I expect to see the destroy button, like a link or something at the very bottom of the show page. So given when then I create my animal, I go to that animal's page, I expect the body of that HTML to say, click this button or something like that, maybe to click this button to delete animal. And then, so that's the first thing. I expect there to be some sort of button on there. Second thing, I expect it to actually destroy the animal and redirect. So I'm going to create an animal. I'm going to make a direct call to the database right here. So again, given I'm creating an animal, when is this thing in between the curly braces? Curly braces mean I'm executing this piece of code. So when I execute this particular piece of code, the when, that is going to change the animals count by -1. Instead of adding one, I expect it to subtract one from all of the count in the database. And then from there, I expect it to redirect me. So I'm going to run the tests. Obviously, I have 3 tests. They're all going to fail. So I have 12 examples, 3 failures. 12 examples, 3 failures. And we're just going to make this pass one by one. First things first, I expect the destroy button to show up on the show page. All right. So I have something for editing this particular animal. I'm going to add something to destroy the animal as well. So this looks a little bit different. It says, click this button to delete this animal. So it's this particular form action, all forms are posts, but I do have this hidden right here that says delete, right? So instead of this edit, which was a hidden value of put, I have a hidden value of delete, because forms by default are going to be posts, and I need to actually change it to a delete request. Click this button to delete this animal. Let's change this real quick. If all goes well, I will see 12 examples and 2 failures. 12 examples and 2 failures right here. And then I need to create an action inside of the actual database, inside the controller. If I have all of these get requests, all of my post requests, my put requests, and I finally have my delete one. Add this in here, fix some spacing. So whenever anybody makes a delete request to /animal/whatever, I'm going to find that animal in the database, destroy that animal, and then redirect them back to /animals. This is all the code that there is just to destroy.
Did you define destroy, or is that?
No, destroy is actually just built in. This is, so again, when I do animal.find or anything really that I'm doing with this capital A, this is the model, right? This is the model that connects to the database. I'm just doing active record stuff at this point. So this find, this create, this new, this all, like all of these methods are just built into active record from week 4. And then the destroy is also another one of those built-in methods.
An active record.
It's an active record method. Yeah, it'll find it inside the database and just delete the entire row. So let's run the test. Hopefully everything works. We have 12 examples, 0 failures. Let's see this run in real life. So I'm going to refresh this page. We've destroyed this dog, you know, full dog, big, big, big. And we have this little thing that says, click this button to delete this particular animal. So I'm going to delete this animal. And then it will no longer, it'll go inside the database, redirect me to /animals. Now that animal had an ID of 15. So if I go back to the animal /15, it's going to say, actually, I couldn't find an animal with 15 because I've actually deleted it from the database.
So what happens to ID 15? It stays invalid forever?
ID 15 stays invalid forever because it's like a deleted record. It's good for record keeping overall, right?
I remember that concept a little bit. Like it makes sense, but I remember the concept.
You don't want to remove the IDs because it's kind of like, I remember imagine if it was account numbers, right? You go to Chase and you have like, my account number was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you say, I no longer want to be a customer. Like they should keep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and maybe say that it's closed. Because then if somebody else comes in and says, I'm also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you like, and has $1 million, and you can come back and say, I'm account number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, here's all my documentation. And then it still matches up. Like you don't necessarily want that. You don't want repeating ID numbers. But once you delete it, that's it. So we've covered a lot of material. And for some people, like watching it is not really the way that you learn best. Everything that I've gone through this morning is found right here in today's curriculum. Almost not necessarily word for word, but all of the code that I used over here, and it's written all out for you. So what I would recommend today's one of those, yesterday was a pairing optional day. Today is a pairing day. You can choose whether or not you want to pair today. It's up to you. But what I would recommend is like, I'm going to upload the videos and you can watch and follow along if you'd like, but just go through this all by yourself and try to understand each individual portion of what's going on. The longest day of trying to understand things is going to be today. Like this is a lot of information thrown all at once, but this is the core basis behind every single thing when it comes to creating CRUD apps. This is what's happening underneath the hood 99% of the time.
Can you stash your subtle code somewhere?
Yeah, I'll throw it in at the very. I'll open a pull request on Bestiary Sinatra application so that you can see it. But you have two challenges for today. They're identical. One's a to-do list and one's an event calendar. You're going to create, read, update, and destroy things to do, and you're going to create, read, update, and destroy events on your calendar. That's really about it. It follows the exact same pattern. You won't get to both. If you get to both, I'll be very surprised. But I just want to make sure you have enough work. Are there any last-minute questions before I stop the recording?
I have a quick one.
Sure.
So when I notice when you're communicating with the database, when you're editing, updating, deleting, whatever, there's
Sure.
like a slight lag. Is that normal?
Not as slow as this. My computer is being slow right now because the question was like when you talk with your database, there's a bit of a lag right now. There's a huge lag right now because it's using a lot of bandwidth to record this and to do the thing, but it should take no more than a fraction of a second to actually do it in real life.
Okay. So you don't want us to go right into the challenges?
I don't want you to go right into the challenges. I want you to jump into going through the README again. Cool, let's get started.